In this video, I would like to talk about growing old. It's very interesting. There's a very interesting topic for me as of recent, because for me, the way I'm looking at it now, growing old and seeing other people grow old is one of the most realist reminders of really subtly asking us, how serious have we been taking our life? If you've been poorly treating your body, you will grow old in a very ugly way. Likewise, if you've treated your body in a very good way, you will that will show, and you'll be able to compare relative to other people just how much better your body is. It's actually incredible how much of a difference your physical ability, your physical fitness, and all this. It's incredible to see how much of a difference your physical ability, your energy, all that ends up showing in the later years of life relative to other people. When it comes to growing old, even though right now I am at age 23, I'm going to be 24 in a few months. I really think to myself, life is going. It's going. What have I done to really savor it? What have I done to really use this time such that I'm well spent, such that I've spent this time towards something investing? And there's already, I think for many people that have lived a life similar to mine, there is already so much regret around wasting your life on video games because you didn't know any better and you were still running away from your problems of anxiety or depression or what have you for so many years, and you just distracted yourself. But one day you had the courage to snap out of it and really work on yourself, do some inner work. One of the hardest things for me too, watching other people in my life grow old, such as my parents, is it shows me just how much, it reminds me how little time I have left with them, and also how much of them it makes me wonder how much of them do I even have left, because their mind will start to go and their character will start to go, and it'll start to become more and more simple. And what's really interesting, I think about the difference between my mother and my father. One of the hardest things for me to accept in my father, and I don't think I really ever will accept it, but time will tell. One of the hardest things is that I see my father disrespecting his body. And it shows now, where he's lost his mind much more than my mother has. His memory is really terrible. And his mind is starting to shrivel up like a raisin. And he's starting to become stubborn. And it shows that throughout his life, he really didn't try to open himself up. And it shows that, he really didn't want to try to become engaged in life, A couple words and he stops working out, Whereas my mom, she doesn't need to be told anything. She, of course, being her son, And being one of self-actualization, I've encouraged her a lot to work out. But naturally, she just knows that's just a value of hers, right? So that's just encouraging her to be with one of her values. And it seems to not be a value with my father at all. And that's really hard to see as, I see him growing old. Because I see all the ways that he could be nurturing his mind, and he doesn't partake in any of it. And as a result, now that he's growing older, the door to that he could walk through, like the wings that he could have grown, their potential is shrinking more and more as each day passes, where he chooses not to participate in life. There's a lot. I actually have a document where I've written down all the things about my father that I don't like. And the reason why I did that is because I am very conscious of the idea that if you're not careful, you will become your parents. Because even though you may not admire them or respect them, you will never fail to emulate. And so there's many attributes that I write down of my father that I personally want to be hyper vigilant around, not emulating. And fundamentally, I don't want to emulate his lack of enthusiasm for life. There's two types of people in this world. There's people that really want to soak it up, and then there's people that just want to float through life. My father's a floater. So you can imagine how much of not of a father I've had throughout my entire life, and how that's been difficult for my journey towards, creating an identity for myself as a man. That's definitely made it more tricky. Because I didn't grow up with an example. In your life, I want you to notice times that you get older and times that other people get older, and use that as a serious opportunity for self-reflection. I really want you to reflect on what the hell are you doing with your life? Really. I want you to reflect on whether or not you're actually respecting your body by putting the correct food in and exercising it. How are you respecting your time? What are you doing with it? Are you just chasing dopamine hits? Or are you doing something more meaningful? Creating something that's going to help you learn how to become who you came here to be. Every time I have a birthday, one of my favorite things to do is to do a vlog. I will do a vlog, and I will reflect on how much I've grown in the past year. And the scariest vlogs is when I cannot identify how much I've grown. Where it just shows, it wasn't enough. You want to be growing, so especially, in the first 30, 40 years of your life, You want to be growing at a pace where you don't even recognize yourself with each new coming year. We massively underestimate just how much we can change ourselves and change our lives and change the lives of those around us. You know, the funniest thing is that the biggest thing that has truly changed the other people around me is to run the tightest program for myself. You know, has been showing up for life myself, and finding ways to communicate that to other people. Well, whether that being like, you know, just the physical body that I've built, the strength I've built from working out and eating correctly enough, because I think I can still be more, I can be actually way more scientific with it. And then there's also, but like that's pretty much the results I have now. But you know, in the future I will have, you know, my book, I will have my videos that are designed to become popular. I will have money, you know, all these markers that people look for. And yeah, I mean, our minds really don't open to that new lifestyle of chosen pain until we kind of really see it for ourselves. Like, what is it worth? And I think most people will grow old before they actually find someone else to show them that path. It is so rare to find an individual to watch them skyrocket their growth in a way where you get inspired to follow in their footsteps. Most people will wait to grow old before they see that. Whereas, you know, those that actually become these incredible individuals, they don't wait for other people. They realize that if they don't do it themselves, they're going to miss out. And fundamentally, that's going to be the worst thing. Because really, if you really think about it, reality is exclusively made out of your perspective. You don't have access to any other people's perspective. So might as well make sure that you create the best perception, best perspective of reality possible by creating a beautiful life and a life worth living. So as you grow older, it's like an accomplishment that, you know, you want to be ready to be 65. What would it be, you know, forget about being ready to die. What about being ready to grow old? What would make you ready to become 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 60, 60, 70, 80, 100, 120? What would make you ready to become that age, where you're proud to become that age? What would you have to accomplish? Who would you have to become? What would you have to train yourself to become? So with that, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See you.